Alright everybody, what's going on? How you all doing? We are back with Psycho-Pass Mandatory Happiness on the PlayStation 4. This has been a good freaking... I've been enjoying the hell out of this game, let me tell you. So, I believe we just finished the riot incident, took care of Alpha in the nurse's office or whatever it was. And, but he escaped, he left the cyborg body, I guess. So now we just gotta finish up what's going on with this whole case and all that. So, for now, the riot incident has been closed. A few victims still remained. The recipe for Heaven's Gate was sent to our Tokyo HQ, and the supplement usage for every person would be strictly monitored from here on. None of this would be made public. Without the public's knowledge, a banned act was put into effect. The disclaimer for the supplements remained the same. However, this message was added. Supplements should be taken with the recommended dosages in a proper manner. Bleh. We could not track down Alpha's whereabouts. Of course not. Shiori Matsukata had been placed in the same hospital our temp HQ was in, but we weren't allowed to visit her, much less know which ward she was housed in. That seems odd. She was the victim from the first case, and we didn't expect she'd reach such an untimely end. Well, if they say untimely end, that makes it sound like she's fucking dead. Miss Kugitachi seemed to regret the whole situation, as did I. Or was this simply my imagination? Was there anything I could have done? What did we accomplish by being in the city? Did we manage to really save anyone? I wrestled with my thoughts, trying to figure out the pendulum of right and wrong, of good and evil, of what was and what could be. Then suddenly, we received a new order. Goddamn, never catch a break. An increased drone presence had been established inside Marine City, and the mental health exam was done, so we, Division 1, were set to return to Tokyo.
鴻上だ。今少しいいか。大した用じゃない。お前、この町での事件をどう思う？もう終わった。そう思うか？いや、いい。今の反応で十分だ。俺も同じ気持ちだよ。今の平穏はどうにも不自然だ。まるで嵐の前の静けさというか、はっきり言ってしまえばきな臭すぎる。おそらく俺たちはまたすぐにこの町に戻ってくることになるだろうな。この町での事件、お前にとって特別なものなんだろ？お前がどういう選択をしようが構わないが、後悔だけはしないようにしろよ。それだけだ。
聞かんかってまだ決着がついてないだろう。アルファはどうするんだ？ドローンでなんとかなる相手じゃねえぞ。
We're gonna leave even without solving whatever the hell's going on here? What do we do about Alpha? There's no way the drones can stop him. This is an order, Enforcer Tsurugi. It's not something we can discuss. You are correct, Inspector Ginoza. However, I do not think this will end here. I have a hunch we'll be back here, on these streets, soon enough. Miss Kugitachi's prediction, however, did not occur. After we returned to Tokyo, Marine City was quiet. It was almost as if those recurring cases were all just one bad dream. But no one was able to breathe easily. This is like the calm before the storm. There is no way this is over. Something's going to happen. Let's make a bet. What do you think's going to happen next? Ouch! Kuni, don't hit me out of nowhere. You are not taking this seriously.
またあの町で何かがあったら、その時私たちは事件に関われるんでしょうか？
But if something happens there again, would we even be allowed to investigate it?
家庭の話は無意味だ。
There's no point dwelling on hypotheticals. Kinoza, fuck off.
あらゆる家庭の問題について考え尽くすことは、英知ある人間としての義務ではないのでしょうか。
Really? Isn't it the role of the wise to think through all hypothetical questions and explore all possibilities?
そんなことが人間に可能だと思うのか？目の前にあることを考えるだけで精一杯。それが人間というものだ。
That isn't something a human can do. Let's just do our best focusing on what's in front of us. That's what humans do.
そうかもしれません。けれど、アルファならどうでしょう。
Well, maybe. But what if it's Alpha?
同じことだ。奴は所詮人間だ。おのずと限界がある。
You still think he's a human, you fucking dipshit? Fuck, god damn it. He will act the same. After all, he is human. He has a limit.
あいつが人間か、それとも AI か、俺にはわからない。だがいずれにせよ完璧じゃない。だからこそ。
Is he human though? Or is he an AI? I have no idea. But, no matter what, he's not perfect. And so... That was my conviction. Or, maybe that was what I wanted.
あの町へ戻れば、ゆかりの手がかりがつかめるかもしれない。そんな夢を、俺はまだ心のどこかで抱き続けている。
If I return to that city, I may be able to find Yukari. I'm still holding on to this dream, onto her, somewhere deep inside. One night, shortly after we arrived back to Tokyo,
常森です。夜分すいません。どうしても一言お伝えしておきたくて。剣さん、私なんかよりずっと刑事に向いてると思います。着任以来大活躍ですごいなって思って見てて、剣さんがいたからこそ救えた人もいっぱいいて、だからこれからも頑張ってください。こんなこと私から言うのも変かなって思いますけど、剣さんが一係に来てくれてよかったなって。すいません剣さん、貴重な時間をいただいてしまって。私ももっと頑張らなくちゃ。これからもよろしくお願いします。
剣か。今常森と話していたようだが、いや、要件を詮索するつもりはない。無論承知のこととは思うが、我々監視官は執行官とは違う。必要以上に親しくなることは避けてもらいたい。監視官に悪影響を及ぼしかねないからな。まあいい。話がある。カウンセリングルームへ来てくれ。今すぐにな。以上だ。
Oh, Lord. I'm not really sure how I feel about these phone calls, because these phone calls seem kind of out of character for some of the characters. At least from watching the anime and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Just weird. I received a call from Inspector Ginoza, and I headed to the counseling room at the PSB headquarters. Ooh, fancy.
医療用擬態盗難事件について一つ進展があった。
There is a new lead in the cyborg theft case.
そんな話をするために俺を個室へ呼び出したのか？
You called me here just to tell me this?
この情報には閲覧制限がある。これまでの経緯もあり、貴様には特別に伝えておくことにした。くれぐれも他言は無用だ。
This information is highly classified. I've decided to tell you this, so don't complain.
何が分かったんだ？
What do we know?
擬態の発注者が判明した。
The owner of the cyborg has been identified. The stolen cyborg was ordered for 6 Tower, but was never used, so it was donated to Sodom Marine City's National Hospital. Reasons for purchase were unknown.
誰なんだ？
Who is it? Pushing his glasses against the bridge of his nose, Inspector Ginoza looked right at me and said, Yukari Himekawa. What?
念のため繰り返しておくが、これは機密事項だ。本来なら俺でも触れない局長クラス以上の閲覧制限が課されている。今回は特例として認められた。加瀬局長に感謝するんだな。
Just in case, let me tell you again, this is classified. Even I wasn't supposed to know this. It was only made possible thanks to Chief Kasai.
そこまで秘密にされる理由は何だ?
Why does this need to be classified?
姫川ゆかりは重大事件の被疑者となっている。
Yukari Himekawa is a suspect under serious investigation.
被疑者? Yukariが?
Yukari? A suspect? No one knew of the incident known as the euthanasia case, as it would have been humiliating for the Ministry of Welfare. The case was glossed over. It happened to 6 Tower, where Yukari had worked, and where the cyborg was purchased. All of a sudden, comatose patients began dying. Were they eustress deficiency patients? That disease does not exist. It's merely an urban legend. Dude, you just saw it in the last case. Like, come on.
病気の存在を認めれば同時にこの社会の抱える問題を認めたことになっちまう。そういうわけか。
If we acknowledge the disease, then we have to recognize that society, no matter how perfect it is experiencing a problem. That's right. Or that's why, right?
貴様のようなおしゃべりに聞かせて構わない情報とは思えんが。どうだ？続きを知りたいか？
I personally don't think that topic should be discussed.
Okay. 黙ってるよ。
Okay, I'll keep quiet. The unnatural death suggested that someone was involved. Whoever it was euthanized the victims, freeing them from their stagnant lives with a painless death. I was about to say pointless.
脳梗塞患者安楽死事件。問題はこれらの死が患者本人はもとより家族の同意さえ受けず一方的に与えられた点だ。しかもおそらくは専門家の手で。
The euthanasia case. The problem is, these patients were euthanized without their consent, and based on the method, it was likely done by an expert. An expert. At 6 Tower, the heart of the Ministry of Welfare, a killer had lurked about. Of course, there was no surprise that this had been classified. Was there any proof that Yukari did it?
その質問には答えようがない。事件の捜査は途中で打ち切られている。被疑者、姫川ゆかりの所在も不明だ。
I have no way of answering that. The investigation was called off halfway. The suspect, Yukari Himekawa, went missing.
そんなバカな話があるか?
There's no way that's true.
ここにある。
Believe it. Naruto, believe it! We stared at each other, not saying a word. Then, after adjusting his glasses once more, Inspector Ginoza calmly spoke.
あるんだ、剣。バカな話なんか、この世にはいくらでも。これ以上の情報にアクセスするには、局長にでもならなければ無理だ。が、ヒントはある。盗まれた擬態の件だ。
Look, Tsurugi. The world is full of crazy things. This is as much as I can tell you, but we do have a lead. The cyborg theft case. Why had that medical cyborg been donated? It had to be connected to the suspect in that case. No one could use it while the case was ongoing, and so someone moved it. But it could have been sent anywhere. So why send it to Sato Marine City? Or was that intentional? It was the suspect's hometown after all.
いいか、剣。擬態盗難事件は姫川ゆかりにつながっている。擬態を操っていたアルファの正体は未だ不明だが、奴もまた彼女へとつながるアリアドネの意図だ。
Got it, Tsurugi? The cyborg theft case is connected to Yukari Himekawa, and now Alpha, who used that cyborg, is missing. Another strand that connects Alpha and her.
その先は出口か、それとも迷宮の奥か。どっちだろうな。
Is that the exit? Or will it lead me to the middle of the maze?
それは 辿ってみなければわからないことだ。
Without finding out for yourself, you won't know.
辿っていくことは許されるのか。潜在犯でデカのこの俺が。
Are you saying I can go there? Me, the latent criminal detective?
命令という形では出せない。だが、この案件は加瀬局長も気にかけておられるようだ。そのことは胸に刻んでおけ。
I cannot issue an order like that, but this case seems to unsettle Chief Kasai. Keep that in mind.
ありがたいお言葉だよ。だがな、ギノザさん。俺にどうしろって言うんだ。アルファのやつは擬態を捨てていったんだぜ。
Thank you. But Inspector Ginoza, why are you telling me this? Alpha's already abandoned his cyberized body.
だからどうした？事件そのものがなくなったわけではない。
Exactly. And there's no way he will go away quietly.
捜査の結果、何もかもなかったことにされたら。
The euthanasia case. What if it was made to seem like nothing happened? Inspector Ginoza didn't answer. Ooh. Look at that. It'd be so much more beautiful if it wasn't run by a crazy fucking system. Somehow, I finally reached the end of the day. Even in the evening, the streets were crowded with people. Yet, from far away, no matter how many people there were, I felt very alone. I looked at my hue checker. What exactly was I supposed to do with that? If that was my hue, then what was the color of this world's hue? Sandy brown. Of course, such a question was pointless. The world had no color, no character, no soul. But the premise of the question intrigued me. If the system decided to steal a case, or to seal a case, then they had a motive to do so, and a clear reasoning behind it. But who decided this, and why? I have to stop this. Thinking about it more will only cloud my hue. Should I take some supplements to avoid any setbacks? Fuck that. Don't need your damn pills. This was food for people who were bred to live in this society. Eating it made them happy, and wagged their tail. But I felt like I was eating a piece of dog shit. Damn straight, son. Oh, what are you doing here? Tsurugi. Miss Kugitachi approached and stood next to me. I nodded, then looked back at the window. What are you looking at? The past. Are you reminiscing? No, just thinking about things I don't want to know, but have to. Did you learn anything about Miss Yukari Himekawa? Sorry, Inspector. That's a private question, and I'm off the clock. That's true, but when I saw you just now, it seemed like it was my business as an inspector. That's why I called you. How do you figure? Business? Of course. It is my business to check on my workers' health and welfare, including to help you make the right choices. It says so in the book. Well, fuck your book. Do I look unhealthy? Terrible. I can see a poor hue, even from behind. Just like crap in the sewer, huh? Enforcers should consume an adequate amount of supplements. That said, improving one's hue will not necessarily decrease an enforcer's crime coefficient.
犯罪係数減少を実現するのも決して不可能ではない。私はそう考えています。
But it is not impossible. By reversing the antisocial tendencies and maintaining a clear hue, you can lower your crime coefficient. At least that's what I believe.
ああ、そうかい。だからなんだ、サプリでも飲めってか。いっそアルファのレシピでも試してみるか。
Ah, but why? You really want me to take supplements? Should I go ahead and try Alpha's cocktail then?
その発言はジョークですか、それとも皮肉ですか。まさか本気で実験を試みようと考えてはいませんよね。
Was that a joke? Or do you mean to be ironic? You cannot be serious about experimenting with that, right?
そうだったな、監視官。あんたにはストレートに言うしかない。だから言おう。俺のことはほっといてくれ。
That's right, Inspector. I'll tell you this only once. Leave me alone.
そういうわけにはいきません。色素が濁り、犯罪係数も高いのは精神が不安定な状態を示しています。執行官は肉体の健康とともに精神面でのケアを怠ってはならず、常に迅速かつ適正な処置を。
I cannot. A clouded hue and high crime coefficient leads to mental instability. Enforcers must take proper actions to remain healthy, both physically and mentally.
ああ、わかったわかった。しかし、俺のことよりもあんた自身はどうなんだ。この前は珍しく調子が悪そうだったじゃないか。
Okay, I get it. But don't worry about me. What about you? You didn't seem to be in good shape last time, you know?
この前とは
And when was that?
アルファを取り逃がした時だ。
When Alpha escaped?
あの少年に会った時、確かに私は原因不明の頭痛と動悸に襲われました。診察も受けました。しかし健康面での問題はなく、職務に支障も出てはいません。
When I met that youth, I was overcome with an intense headache. But when I went for a checkup, there was nothing wrong with me.
無理すんな。なんかあったら言えよ。
Don't overdo it. If anything ever troubles you, just tell me. I like how he says that after he just told her to leave him alone. Like, what fucking... I don't... You? Miss Kugatachi just stared at me. I couldn't sense any mockery or irony in her voice. It was just a question. Plain and simple.
ああ、そうだ。俺に言え。あんたさえ良ければ。
Well, yeah. You can tell me, if you want. I knew how to deal with someone like her, because of Yukari, but I wasn't planning on telling Miss Kugatachi something like that. That'd be foolish.
クガタチなでしこは姫川ゆかりじゃない。顔がまるで違うし、あいつが、ゆかりが、この俺を忘れるわけがないんだ。
Miss Kugatachi isn't Yukari. Yukari is someone I'd never forget, and the two look nothing alike.
ご好意に感謝します。今のお言葉は記憶しておきます。それはそれとして、剣さん。あなたこそ故郷で起こった立て続けの事件で精神的に疲労しています。
Thank you. I will remember that. Also, Tsurugi, I hope the incidents that unraveled in your hometown were not too much of an emotional burden for you.
そうかもな。
I guess so.
カウンセリングを受けてみてはいかがですか？
Would you like to go to counseling? Fuck your counseling. I'm not gonna go to a fucking shrink. What should I do? No.
必要ない。俺が抱えてるのは自分自身の問題だ。事件がどうこう言うわけじゃない。
No. This is my own problem, and I can't speak about anything regarding this case.
そうですか。残念ですが、義務ではありませんので、無理強いはしません。ですが、
I see. What a pity. It's not my duty, so I will not pressure you, but... Her eyes, still impossible to read as usual, just stared at me, reading me like a dominator.
あなたがメンタル面の不調から反社会的な方向へ傾斜したなら、それは自業自得であり、誰の責任も問えないということは認識し、覚悟しておいてください。私は迷わずあなたを執行します。
If you push away help, you will be left responsible to reap what you sow. Prepare yourself. I will not hesitate to enforce you. Okay, hold on a second. Even if you accepted help, that doesn't mean you're not responsible to reap what you sow. Whether you get help or not, you're always responsible to reap what you sow. Lady, you need to make sense.
肝に銘じておくよ。
I'll keep that in mind.
なぜそんな顔をするのですか？剣執行官、あなたは私を侮っているのですか？
What's with your face? Are you mocking me?
めっそうもない。あんたには敬意を払ってるよ、監視官。だがな、俺は俺自身の落とし前をつける覚悟は決めてるが、あんたはどうなんだ？
That's absurd. You have nothing but my respect, Inspector. No matter what, I'll take care of myself. But what about you?
私ですか？私
What?
は
God damn it. What? Me?
引き受けるべき自分自身のすべてをあんたは知ってるのか？
Do you seriously just accept your life as it is? She pursed her lips and stared at me.
取り戻してみせます。
I will get it back.
そうかい。じゃあな。
Sure. Laters. Did he really just say laters? As I turned my back, Miss Kugatachi
正
said,
義さんもゆかりさんと再会できればいいですね。
Tsurugi, I hope you'll be able to meet Yukari again. Without answering, I hastened my pace. Oh yeah, I wish we could see more of his room. But look at him. Such a interesting guy. I returned to my room. The thought of Yukari still heavy on my mind.
ゆかり、お前が殺人事件の被疑者だなんて、本当にそんなことをやったのか？嘘だと言ってくれ。今すぐ来て、本当のことを言ってくれ。
Yukari, you're a suspect in a murder case. Did you really do it? Tell me it's all a lie. Come to me. Tell me the truth. But now that I was a detective, I doubt others more than I can trust them. Or wait. But now that I was a detective, I doubt others more than I can trust them. Huh. It was part of the job, after all. Shit. Even I can't help doubting myself.
ひょっとしたら俺は、ゆかりのことなんか、何も分かってなかったんじゃないのか。
There was a chance I didn't even know anything about her.
もっと会って話せばよかった。進路も距離も忙しさも言い訳だ。一緒にいれば分かり合えることもあったはずなのに。ゆかり、ゆかり、ゆかり。もう一度、お前に。
If only we talked more often. Our different career paths, the distance, busy schedules, they were all excuses. If we were together, we could have made it work. Yukari. Ooh, nighttime.
会いたい。
I want to see you. A few days later. Ooh, swag. Pon!
またかよ。お前さっきから泣いてばっかだろ。
Again? You've been on a roll. I believe that this is Kagari's little room he has.
休め早めも芸のうちってね。ほい、いいピン切り。
I'm all about speed. Here, I'm getting rid of this. 1 dot.
ロン
Roden, I win.
マジ ?100 万じゃん。
Whoa, no way. That's a Yakuman.
国士無双か。えげつないな、おい。
13 orphans? I smell a cheater.
今日はついてる。もう一曲行こう。
I can't lose today. Let's go one more round. Huh. I don't remember Kogami ever going to, like, Kagari's place and, you know, like, partying and shit like that. He was always the, you know, kind of the loner, always off by himself and stuff like that. Shu invited us to his place to play Mahjong. Woo, Mahjong. Look at him there having fun. I guess I could see Kogami. Fucking phone. I could see Kogami being like a Mahjong guy. I could definitely see that. As the game progressed, we all started to talk about our roles, just like birds in a cage. Enforcers were trapped as latent criminals. We didn't have much to talk about. I confessed too, and told them I became a detective to find my girl. I thought they'd laugh at me, but
いい女か。
Was she a good woman? Yeah.
すこぶるつきか
Is she really beautiful?
たまらねえよ。
Irresistible.
俺にもいっぺん拝ませるよな、タクちゃん。とっときのワインをごちそうするからさ。
Can I help you find her too, Taku? Then we can all drink that wine I've been saving.
その約束忘れんじゃねえぞ、シュウ。
I'll hold you to that, Shu. And even if they all forgot, I wouldn't. I can never forget you, Yukari. And now my memories of you have been passed on to these guys.
必ず合わせてやる。びっくりすんなよ。俺の女は特別だ。
I'll see her again. Don't be surprised when I do. After all, she's my girl. I hate it when guys refer to like their significant others as like their girl, like she's fucking property. It was busy as usual at the PSB, paperwork for days. But under the Sybil system, there were guaranteed days off unlike the black corporations of yesteryear. It also applied to the enforcers, except we couldn't leave the premises without supervision, and I had already read everything I could find on Yukari. The analysis on the cyborg was about to begin, or at least that's what I had thought, but then I found out that some preparations were still needed. Hey, looks like I'm gonna work out a little bit. So, to get rid of my pent-up energy, I went to the training room to fight with a sparring robot. Working out helped me drown out all of life's noises. I cannot read today. I dodged the robot's right hook and landed a solid uppercut to his chin. I wanted to connect more hits, but in my frustrated state, my stance was poor, and the robot managed to rush me. It smashed against my ribs, putting me a bit off balance. Then it swung its leg at me. Then I ducked and grabbed its other leg. After bringing it down, I mounted it, hitting it several times until it stopped moving. The training room was sure fun. After all, the PSB had sparring robots that were far beyond anything that was available in stores.
悪くないな
Not bad. Kogami! This is a place he would be.
ガミさん。
Gami. I was slightly embarrassed that he had found me here. Gami, Shinya Kogami, was far from ordinary, and it wasn't just his investigation skills. His agility, muscular back, and impeccable defense made him a force to be reckoned with. He always remained calm in a fight, and he was considered to be extremely lethal.
参ったな。
Aw, man. I wonder why I had gotten embarrassed. I guess the best way to describe it was like if you were training alone, only to find out a senior varsity member had been watching.
やるか
Let's do it.
あ
Huh?
スパーリングだよロボットは所詮ロボット人間同士が一番いい
Sparring. Robots are just robots after all. It's best to spar with another human.
相手してくれんのか。
And you're gonna be my opponent? The fact that he had come here purposefully to fight only revealed the unshakable confidence he had in his skills.
ありがたくお受けするぜ。
I'll gladly take up the offer. And get my ass whooped.
決まりだ
Okay, it's decided then. Kogami took off his shirt and then approached me.
ズボンも
Shirtless Kogami.
Huh?
Your pants too. Huh?
下も脱いで。
Take that off. I pointed at his belt buckle.
ベルトの金具とか危ないんで着替えた方がいいぜ。
Metal belt buckles are dangerous. You should change your clothes. That was a basic rule of sparring. Any metals, protruding objects, or things that could be pulled were dangerous and could lead to serious injury.
なあそうだな悪い人間相手は俺も久しぶりでな
Ah, that's right. Sorry. It's been a while since I sparred with another person. Kami went into the changing room. When he returned, he wore training gear. Kami's body shape was concealed when he wore his suit, but his ripped muscles were clearly visible in his gym clothes. I wasn't a toothpick, but I was clearly outgunned.
ルールは
Oh
どんな
damn.
感じでいく
What rules should we go by?
公安局の医療体制ってどうなの？進んでるよな。
We have the PSB medical drones, if anything. What were you thinking?
ああ半殺しくらいならあっという間に復帰できる
Let's see. We only stop if one of us is near death, and if that happens, we'll have one of the drones heal us. Oh, what the shit? Oh, that phrasing. Gami and I each grabbed a pair of fingerless gloves from the inventory. Alright.
打撃投げ技関節 OK でどっちかがギブアップしたら終わり。後頭部、背中、股間への攻撃は禁止。
Also, grappling and hitting joints is allowed, but hitting the back of the head, spine, and between the cheeks isn't allowed. The match ends when someone taps out.
そんなもんだろうな。早速行くぞ。
Alright. Well, let's do this. Oh god, I'm about to get my ass kicked. Gami took up his stance, guarding his face with his hands. He moved his weight slightly toward the front of his feet, a general stance for most mixed martial arts. In the past, mixed martial artists had been all the rage, fighting others, spilling blood, and raging in all of the glory. But all of that was banned under the Sybil system. Yeah, fuck the Sybil system, man. What, does that mean you can't have kung fu movies either? Where it's fucking pretend? Even in professional wrestling, your opponent would be replaced by a robot. Fighting another human like this was only limited to the likes of latent criminal enforcers. That's pretty gay. What's the point of, like, wrestling, or professional wrestling, if you're wrestling a robot? I also got in my stance. It was similar to Gami's. I wasn't trying to imitate him or anything, it was just the pose I had learned from my wrestling days. Anyway, what technique did Gami use? Oh damn, here we go. Gami's jabs came in bursts. What power? All I could do was cover, putting both my hands up as I tried fending off his attacks. Oh damn. Gami's left hand rushed at me, and he landed a jab. With that same hand, he grabbed my wrist, breaking my defense. I quickly pushed off, regaining my guard, but then he grabbed me with his other hand. I tried to move, backward, but... Man, don't tell me I'm gonna get my ass kicked that quick. Another jab came flying over, but I couldn't dodge it in time. Then another. After taking a series of punches, my eyes were starting to blur. What skills he has. No matter what I do, he keeps gripping onto my wrists.
どうしたもう防戦一方か。レスリングやってたって聞いたぞ。タックルはどうした？
What? Why are you back on defense? Aren't you a wrestler? What's up with your tackling form? He was taunting me. Of course he knew I had been a wrestler, and because of that, he was able to read through my tackles. It was now or never. Time to get serious. Oh, damn. I fought back, throwing a fast 1-2 punch at his left. Right after, I followed up with a jab to his right. But I couldn't land anything. I tried following up with a hurried left hook, but he read through it. My left fist was parred by Gami's right elbow. Before I knew it, he countered with a left knife hand strike. And it hit me right in my temple. The room felt like it was spinning. At this rate, I'll be screwed. I lunged forward. I had to take a risk. I got low, trying to grab Gami's legs and tackle him down. And I lost the wager, as expected from Gami. He was waiting for me to bull rush him. Shit! Gami slapped my arms off, and then struck me from above. The next thing I knew, I was lifted from my shoulders and thrown onto the ground. Oh my god. Kogami's whooping my ass right now. I wasn't even able to do a thing to him. Well, I hope this means I could do like regular sparring sessions and my character can get more badass. Goddamn. Gami wrapped his legs around my body, executing an armbar. The cross arm lock, to be exact. My right wrist was fully extended.
このままおろうか。タップしろよ。
Should I break this? You should tap out. Gami laughed lightheartedly. Not only was he incredibly strong, perhaps he was also a bit evil. I was pinned down from my shoulder, all the way down to my wrist. I had to focus on my breathing in order to withstand the pain. My whole body felt like it was doused in sweat. But I still didn't want to tap out. That would mean surrendering. Break it. Huh? I'll heal in no time. Quick, break the bone. Even though I said so, I was scared. Super scared. I don't like the idea of it all, but...
おる気ならもう追ってるはずだ。わざわざおろうかなんて聞いてきたのは俺を試すためだ。そういうのは好みじゃねえな。
If you wanted to break it, you'd have done so by now. You just said that to test me. That's messed up. He finally released his grip.
折らないでくれって言ったら折ってた。
If you told me not to break it, I would have done it.
なんなんだよ。
What the hell? As expected of a latent criminal, well, who was I to call him that? Gami was an enigma, always full of surprises. We headed off to the showers, and when I got in, all the sweat from the sparring ran off my body with the hot water.
トレーニングはいつもこんな感じなのか?
Is this how it always feels to train for you?
久しぶりだって言っただろ。付き合ってくれるのはかがりかとっつぁんくらいだし。
I told you, I haven't practiced with another human for a long time, and usually I hang out with Kagari and Pops.
ギノザさんとは?
What about Inspector Ginoza?
あいつは俺とやったら大変なことになるって知ってるからな。全然ジムには近づいてくれない。
Well, he knows that if he and I sparred, we'd both make a big deal out of it, so he never goes to the gym.
変な技を使うんだな。
Anyway, you sure use a strange technique.
俺もレスリングやってた。
I used to wrestle too.
へえ。
Huh?
学生時代にキックボクシング。
When I was in school, I took kickboxing too.
でもさっきの技は
But just now, there wasn't a kickboxing technique that utilized grappling and joint manipulation. That I knew. And furthermore, what about his relentless hand movements?
しらっと。他にも実践的なやつをいくつか。
Okay, what? Salat? Is that what that is? And other attacks I learned from real fights.
しらっと格闘技の名前?
Salat? That's the name of the fighting style?
プンチャックシラット。海の向こうの伝統武術。
Penkok Salat? It's a traditional martial arts from overseas. Never heard of it. Then Gami's tone suddenly changed. It was like he was thinking back on his past. Or maybe suppressing his anger.
昔、笹山って男がいた。
Back in the day, there was this guy called Sasayama. Oh, wait. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I wasn't thinking clearly when I was thinking this stuff before. Like, Kogami becomes an enforcer after the dude dies. There's no way that the guy I'm playing as could have been that dude. I don't know why I suggested that. God, fuck you, phone. I don't know why I suggested that theory back at the, at the beginning when I played this, but... So that dude's already dead and gone. I forgot that he becomes an enforcer because that dude dies. So that would... I just wasn't thinking it through. Anyway. Why was he talking about him in the past tense? Because he's fucking dead!
軍隊格闘技やら、ストリートファイトやら。
Back then, I was pretty close to him. His military-style moves and street fighting. Okay, phone. You're getting turned off.
お前にもいるだろ。遠くへ行ってしまった。
Oops.
でも忘れることはできない。忘れられない人間だ。
You're like me. Someone left you, but you can never forget. I was startled by the thought. My beloved Yukari. I could never forget her. Never.
自分の人生に嘘をつくかつかないか。最後はそういう話になるんだ。
Will you keep lying to yourself, or be honest? That's all that matters when it's all said and done.
ガミさん。
Gami.
見つかるといいな。お前の大事な人。
It'd be nice if I got to meet that important person in your life. What a good guy. After showering, I chugged a whole bottle of water while drying myself off. When I glanced at Gami, he was doing the same. Whoa, shirtless Gami, look at that. But I felt like I was peeking at the burden he had been carrying. He was radiating with rage, oozing out of him like magma, as his cold eyes held some sort of dark conviction. Shinya Kogami. Was he a fearsome person or a kind one? I wasn't sure.
ドローンや擬態相手でも結局デカは体が資本だ。殴り合いに強くて困ることはない。またそのうちやろうぜ。
Whether we deal with drones or cyborgs, our strongest weapon is our body. In time, we'll become so strong that they don't pose a threat. Well, let's spar again soon. Ah, okay.
練習を繰り返せば繰り返すほど何も考えずに体が適切な動きを取るようになる。感じるままに動いてそれが正解になる。
The more I reflect on my sparring sessions, the more I'm able to move my body without thinking what to do next. If you feel it, then it's the right move.
お前はちょっと動きが硬いな。イメージを広げろ。
Your moves are a little stiff. Visualize more.
イメージ？それはいわゆるイメージトレーニング的な？
Visualize? Is that the virtual training program?
相手に予測されにくい動きを組み立てるんだよ。どんなものでも参考になる。例えば映画とかどうだ？
It helps you develop a set of moves that make it difficult for your opponents to decipher. You can use anything for reference, even movies.
映画？
Movies?
笹山は俺にいろいろと役に立つことを教えてくれた。タバコの味、夜遊びの面白さ、失われた格闘技。その中でも特に感謝しているのが映画だ。
Sasayama taught me many useful things. The smell of tobacco, the captivating nightlife, and the lost martial arts. But the most important thing I learned were movies.
俺も映画は見るよ。ホログラムのやつ。
I watch movies too, like Hollows and stuff.
そうじゃないよ。平面のモニターやスクリーンに映し出すやつがいいんだ。
Not that. Anything on a flat screen or monitor will do.
アナクロ？
You mean analog? Why is he so surprised? He still reads like manga and shit. Yet he thinks watching a movie's like fucking crazy?
なんだと？古い映画はいいぜ。スプラッタにカンフー、規制もゆるゆるだ。
Oh wow. Regulations on movies are actually pretty laid back, apparently. What? I mean old movies. Like horror or kung fu, regulations on movies are pretty laid back.
それ、本当に役に立つのか？
So, you're saying they're helpful?
お前だってかなりと古い漫画の話よくしてるだろう。それと同じさ。想像力の元になる。想像力はデカの武器になる。
You talked to Kagari about old manga, right? When you read manga, you imagine yourself in the story as it unfolds. That ability to visualize is a detective's key weapon.
そんなもんかね。じゃ、俺も古い映画を見るよ。スプラッタにカンフー？
Ah, I think I get what you're saying. Okay, I'll watch some old movies then. Horror and kung fu, right?
あんまり無理はしなくていいぞ。
Well, just don't overdo it. In any case, it seemed like we had a bonding moment. I felt a lot better and more energized.
どこかにいるんだろう、ゆかり。
Where are you, Yukari? What Gami had said was true. I wasn't going to keep lying to myself. Ooh, grapplers.
実験は成功だ。途中で邪魔が入ったけど、ヘブンズドアーで人間から自由意志を奪えば、引き換えに幸せを与えられるとはっきりした。あとは実践に移すだけだ。
The experiment was a success. Despite the minor obstacles, it's clear that Heaven's Gate offers happiness in exchange for one's free will. Now, all I have to do is execute. Even without his cyberized body, he continued to process his thoughts, calculating how to best execute his plan, but immaturity led him to follow impulse rather than logic. As a fierce passion burned in his red eyes, he gazed at his hometown of Sato Marine City, watching over all the humans who lived in those soon-to-be doomed streets.
さあ、始めよう。みんなを幸せにするんだ。
Now, let's get started. Time to bring happiness to everyone. He reconfigured the entire city's motherboard system, rewriting every minuscule portion of it. Not even the city's landscape was overlooked. Uh-oh.
この町はゆりかごであり、箱舟でもある。もう心配はいらないよ。人間たち、ここで生きていく限り、僕とドローンたちが死ぬまで面倒を見てあげるから。
This city is not only a place to live, but an ark, too. There's no need to worry, poor humans. As long as you live here, the drones and I will take good care of you. I'm having trouble reading today. What the fuck?
君たちは幸せでいられるし、僕も必要とされるんだ。
It's such a great place, isn't it? Now, everyone can be happy, and I'll be able to serve my purpose.
それにしても、同じようなことを考える奴がいたんだね。
Mother will be so proud of me. He turned on the hollow of a virtual book. It was once a picture book that could be rented from the city's library. He scanned it, reading it over and over again.
この世には生きるべき人間と死すべき人間がいる。箱舟に乗れる命の数は限られている。そのことがもう何千年も前のこの本にも書かれてるなんてね。
In this world, some will live, while others will die. The number of lives that can be on this ark is limited. It says so in this book, written thousands of years ago. Is he reading the Bible? Alright, Alpha, I feel like I have to talk to you for a second. Not everything in that book you're reading should be taken seriously. Let's just put it that way.
かつて人は神が世界を作ったと考えた。今はシステムが世界を動かすし、必要とあらば変えていく。君たち人間が承知しているかどうかはともかく。
Humans once believed that God created this world. Now Sybil controls it. Molding and shaping it is needed. In due time, all humans will become aware of that.
ならば、僕は神になろう。君たちにとっての新しい神に。さあ、救ってあげよう。この船に乗る資格を持つ、すべての幸せなものを。
Then I will become your god. Not the one you want, but the one you need. Now, let's save the ones who qualify to come on board. If they want to be happy, that is. Well, this isn't going to turn out well.
アルファは AI かそれとも人間か。そんなもん机の前で考えたって答えは出ないが。
Is Alpha an AI or a human? Being stuck at this desk is almost as troubling as figuring that out. I couldn't figure it out, much less get it out of my head. Everyone else thought long and hard about this too, but almost all of them didn't know this one new detail.
アルファが使っていた擬態の発注者はゆかりだった。
The one who purchased the cyberized body that Alpha used was Yukari. I couldn't tell everyone this though. Ginoza ordered me to keep my lips sealed, but I didn't feel like talking about it anyway.
ゆかりがあいつがどんなつもりで擬態を発注したのか、それがはっきりするまでは明かしたくない。
Yukari. What was she planning to do with a custom-built cyberized body? Until I am certain what her motive was, I'm not letting anyone else know about this. So, why did she purchase that cyberized body that Alpha had used? A cyberized body measured, recorded, and reproduced its user's sensory info. To operate it, a brain needed to be linked, though a direct link wasn't the only option. But I can't imagine Yukari ordered it to use it as a mere puppet. First of all, it wasn't a personal purchase. It was ordered for the Ministry of Welfare's 6th tower. It must have had to do with some project she was working on. Most likely, Yukari was the leader of that project. She definitely wrote up the specs for the order, and whatever her purpose was for that cyborg was key.
ゆかりは擬態に何をさせたかったのか。
Yukari, what the hell did you want the cyborg to do? Is it smart to ask the colleagues for their opinion, because I'm not supposed to like let them know that she So why I'm not supposed to let them know that she purchased the cyborg. So unless he's going to ask questions unless he's going to ask the question like very in a roundabout way, like I don't know. I know, it never hurts to ask people for their opinions. Fuck it. I couldn't come to a conclusion by myself. Maybe I was too close to everything. So, I decided to seek out someone else's perspective. Well, who should I ask? Ask the enforcers, ask the inspectors, ask Kato Nomori. Try the medical database. I kind of want to ask Kato Nomori. I feel like she would have good insight on that, actually.
アルファの発注者については私も調べてみたわ。だけど何にも出てこないのよ。
I've looked into the buyer, but I couldn't find anything.
あんたでも探り当てられねえか。
Not even you could? Of all people, I expected Miss Kato Nomori would be able to find something about the person who ordered the medical cyborg. Maybe I had assumed too much.
発注者はどんな意図を持って擬態を必要としたんだろうな。何か特別なプロジェクトでもあったんじゃねえのかな。
What was the motive for ordering it? Was there, like, some secret project?
さあね。考えたって無駄。憶測の域を出ないわ。それにね、剣くん。あんまり嗅ぎ回らない方がいいかもよ。
Who knows? But don't waste your time thinking about it. You shouldn't sniff around this too much, Tsurugi.
あんたまでギノザさんみたいなこと言うのか。
Even you sound like Ginoza.
嫌な感じがするのよね、この案件。記録が意図的に抹消されてるっぽいし、うかつに触れるとこっちまでブラックホールに落ちそう。
I have a bad feeling about this case. All the records seem to have been intentionally deleted, and if we do something stupid, we can fall into a black hole.
脅かすなよ。
That doesn't scare me. It was possible. Yukari had been the suspect of the euthanasia case. All traces of her were erased and sealed away. I knew that perfectly well.
だからって黙っちまう気はさらさらないがな。
That's why I don't see why I have to keep this to myself.
剣くん、君の笑顔すごく怖いわよ。
Hey, Tsurugi? What's with that creepy smile?
お、そうか。そいつはすまねえ。
Oh, my bad. Well, damn. Just then, Miss Kugatachi notified us all that the analysis of Alpha Cyber's body was finished. Finally, I rushed to the office to meet up with the rest of Division 1. Ooh, my throat.
結論から言えば、アルファはやはり AI だったと考えられます。
To conclude, we can say that Alpha is definitely an AI.
根拠は
On what grounds? Ginoza, fucking what the hell, man? Accept the evidence that is in front of your mongoloid Down syndrome face.
それを今からご説明しますが、まず前提として、擬態の頭蓋内に人間の脳は収められていなかったことを確認しておきます。
Allow me to explain. First, we cannot find any traces that indicate a human brain was stored in the cyborg's cranium. The medical cyborg could directly connect to a patient's brain via online, and in theory, this allowed for the wireless control operation of the cyborg. But in reality, the log of the cyborg's data was flat. The only time there was a spike in bandwidth transmission was when Alpha evacuated. During that moment, the server at the middle school processed an urgent transfer, experiencing an influx of data.
アルファの高飛びの痕跡か。
Do you mean when Alpha escaped?
そう考えるのが妥当な解釈でしょう。
It could be a valid explanation.
状況証拠に過ぎない。軽率な判断は慎め。
This is nothing but circumstantial evidence. Don't jump to conclusions.
アルファが AI か、それとも遠隔操作によりコントロールされていたかを問わず、擬態内のメモリは使用されましたよね。そこに何らかの痕跡は見つかりませんでしたか？
Whether Alpha is an AI or was wirelessly controlled, the CyberAss body's hard drive is corrupted. We can't recover it.
大部分は消去済みでしたが、わずかな痕跡が見つかりました。解析の結果、規制のプログラムの一部と分かりました。
Most of it was deleted, but a trace of it was left behind. From our analysis, we know that it was part of an existing program.
規制プログラムの 一部何か別のプログラムから流用されたものということですか？
Part of an existing program. Are you saying that there's multiple programs being used?
おっしゃる通りです。
Exactly.
そのプログラムってのは一体なんだい？
What was the existing program from?
ホームセクレタリー AI の基本システムでした。
A general system software for the AI secretary.
なんだと？
What?
びっくりした。大きな声出すなよ、タクちゃん。
You scared the hell out of me. Don't yell, Taku.
すまん。だが聞いてくれ。アルファは俺が知ってた AI はホームセクレタリー AI を改造して作られたんだ。
Sorry, but Alpha, at least the AI I knew, was originally an AI secretary too.
マジかよ。大当たりじゃん。
Seriously? You were right all along.
決めつけるな。現時点ではまだ確証が得られたとは言い難い。さらに検討が必要だ。
Don't be hasty. We still don't have any proof. We need to discuss this further.
でもギノザさん、私には遠隔操作説の方が信じがたいです。アルファが自立行動可能な AI だと考えることで、全ての状況証拠が矛盾なく説明できるんじゃありませんか。
But Inspector Ginoza, I find the wireless control theory hard to believe. If Alpha is an autonomous AI, then all the paradoxes we've seen would now make sense, right?
その点は俺も認める。だが、これは重大な事案だ。我々だけでは判断できない。まず局長に上申し、方針決定を仰ぐべきだ。
I agree, but this is an important case. We can't make any adjustments or judgments by ourselves. I have to report this to the chief, and we'll wait further instruction.
自立行動可能な AI が現れたとなれば、シビラシステムによる平和が覆されかねないからな。
If there's such a thing as an autonomous AI, then the peace that the Sybil system has established may be in jeopardy.
口を慎め、拝み。
Watch what you say, Kogami. I mean, he's not wrong, dude. You just don't want to face the truth, motherfucker.
いずれにせよ、事件はまだ終わってはいません。むしろこれからが本番と考えるべきでしょう。
At any rate, the case is far from over. One could say it has just begun.
おいおい、不吉なことを言うじゃないか。
Hold your horses, doll. Don't say such ominous things.
アルファは当初、人間の意志に沿い手助けをしていました。その彼が直接、自分の意志で手出しをしてきた。しかも彼は言いましたよね。立てこもり事件の時。
Initially, Alpha tried to fulfill human desire, but then he changed his actions to fit what he saw was best. And during the riot, he said something that stood out to me.
実験終了。確かにそう言っていました。次は実践ということでしょうか。でも一体何を？
He said his experiment was complete. I was certain that was what he said. So now, he will put what he learned into practice. But what is his goal?
決まってんだろう。人間を幸せにするんだとさ。
Of course, it's to grant people happiness.
どこで？誰を？どうやって？
Where? Who? By what means?
それは彼の思惑次第でしょう。
That is all up to him.
野放しにはできんな。できることなら何かが起こる前に。
I can't just sit here and do nothing. We need to stop him.
いや、無理無理。ドミネーターで判定できねえんだぜ。神ならぬ身の俺たちに止められるわけねえっつの。
Like hell we can. The Dominators don't even recognize his crime coefficient. We're not gods, man. We can't stop him.
それでも備えておくことはできます。次にどんなことが起こったとしても、すぐ対処できるように。
Even so, we can still prepare for the worst. We need to be ready to handle whatever hell may break loose.
だよな。俺たちはそのためにここにいるんだ。ありがとうよ、久我たち嬢。あんたのおかげで俺たちが目指すものがはっきりしたぜ。
Damn straight. That's why we're here. Thank you, Miss Kugatachi. You've made it very clear what we have to do now.
お役に立てれば幸いですが、 肝心なのはここからです。私たちには一体何ができるんでしょうね。
I'm glad to be of help, but what truly matters is what we can do next. I mean, realistically speaking, what can we do? I checked my hue. Florida gold. From here on out, it wouldn't hurt to take more supplements just in case. I mean, I can't imagine taking a supplement every so often would be bad. But, like, out of the, what, 6 times it's asked me to take a supplement, I've only taken it once. So... But I don't know. Like, I don't really want to... No. But whatever. I wasn't in the mood to think about such shitty what-ifs. Rather than thinking, I wanted to rush forward and find him. I'm ready. Waiting for you. Alpha, come at me anytime. Bring it on! That afternoon, I visited Miss Kugatachi. She was with Inspector Ginoza. Usually, I didn't pay any heed, but something caught my eye. Did I just see... Yukari? I was sure I saw her. I didn't know why Miss Kugatachi looked like a totally different person. Was it the air in the room? What changed from then till now? I followed them. I wanted to get a closer look at her face. I needed to be sure of what I had just seen. But they turned the corner, and I couldn't continue. Ahead was a restricted area, off limits for enforcers. The PSB had multiple layers of security. Just like data access rights, enforcers' physical access rights were severely restricted. Damn, if only I didn't have to wear this. The wristcom we had to wear wasn't only a communication device, but also a handcuff. It tracked your GPS location, and if you entered a restricted area, you'd be reported. If so, the inspectors received a notification, which is why Ginoza and Miss Kugatachi turned around. I couldn't leave, though. She was an inspector. I was a latent criminal. Still, why did she look at me like that? It wasn't her usual calm stare. Her eyes moved about, and she wouldn't make eye contact with me. They disregarded my presence and continued to the general staff area, but I wasn't planning on giving up. Her strange demeanor made me even more curious. But I didn't think the inspector's destination was the general staff area. When I first came out of the elevator hall, it seemed like they were headed to a different floor. Part of the elevator was also normally used by the enforcers. I left the restricted area and hurried to the elevator hall. They were waiting for the elevator. It opened. Shit, I wouldn't make it in time. It's a straightaway. One way in, one way out. I watched the numbers above the elevator door stop glowing after only one floor. It was unlikely that they would take the stairs or cargo elevator. So if I was patient enough, I decided to wait. Once they returned, I'd be able to see her. But a while later, when the elevator opened again, only Ginoza was there. He was carrying a large trunk. It looked heavy, like maybe a weapon was inside. Where's Miss Kugatachi? Oh, I forgot to read that. Damn it, I forgot to read it. She was the Chief Kasai. Yeah, the chief of the PSB. Why? I can't disclose that to you. I figured as much. Well, are you free, Inspector Ginoza? I have something to ask from you. About Alpha's case? I glanced at the numbers above the elevator. It looked like it had stopped on the chief's floor. So, she was there. But why? There could only be a few possibilities. What I didn't get was why Miss Kugatachi was there. Come with me. We'll talk when we get back to the office. Sorry, but I'm going to wait here. I have to talk to Miss Kugatachi.
が一つだけ言っておく。アルファは AI だ。人類社会に危害をなす恐るべきバグだそうだ。
Then do whatever you want. But, I'll tell you this. Alpha is an AI, and he is a danger to our society.
局長が認めたのか。
What? The chief accepted that?
このトランクは対アルファ用の特製電子戦装備だそうだ。
This trunk contains the CAW, which is what I'm going to call it. Fuck that CAW. I'm going to call it CAW. Counter AI weaponry.
こんなこともあろうかと開発してましたってか。
So, you're saying this was developed specifically for this case? Ooh. Without answering me, Ginoza left. I leaned against the wall and folded my arms, waiting for the elevator doors to open again. Bah. Soon after, my wristcom beeped. It was Miss Kugitachi.
剣執行官、緊急ブリーフィングが行われます。一係オフィスへ至急戻ってください。
But how did she... I thought she was just with the boss, Chief Kasai. Is she already at the business 1 office, or Division 1 office? How'd she get there? I thought it was one way in, one way out. Enforcer Tsurugi, we will be having an emergency briefing soon. Please come to the Division 1 office at once. What the... When did you get back?
それは重要な問題ではありません。最優先すべきはアルファの問題です。
It's not important. Alpha is our first priority. I'll be right there. How did she... What the fuck? The mystery was left unsolved. I didn't know when I'd get to talk to her privately again. Since she didn't come this way, there had to be another path I didn't know about. There had to be something she didn't want me to know. She even dodged my question. Something strange was definitely happening. So maybe she is Yukari and the, Chief Kasai. Chief Kasai might be up to something. Because Chief Kasai was pretty sketchy in the, at least I believe if Chief Kasai is the person I'm thinking of, from the anime series, she was pretty fucking sketchy. And she did some pretty crafty things. Sorry I'm late. Miss Kugitachi nodded, then looked back at the front. She had the same expression as always, though she resembled Yukari. Or though she resembled Yukari, she wasn't her. Maybe my eyes were just playing tricks on me. No way. I knew what I had seen. But now wasn't the time for that. With the usual anxiousness in his voice, Ginoza started talking, and I focused my attention on him.
Alpha 消去令が発令された。これは公安局史上初の対 AI 執行作戦となる。これより作戦遂行のための専用電子戦装備を公開する。
We received orders to eliminate Alpha. This will be the first counter AI operation in the history of the PSB. We have been authorized to use cyber warfare equipment. Ooh. Only 2 people could use the call at one time. Basically, they were a pair of gloves and eyewear that allowed users to manipulate the network at will. The difference between this and VR avatars was that the call directly connected to the user's brain, allowing the Access VR space to be directly manipulated. In other words, you can change the world however you like. Sounds like fun. Let me give it a shot. It's not a toy. You will be exposed to high levels of stress. It's likely that we will lose our minds in exchange for that level of power. That's pretty fucked up. It was developed from the results of medical cyberization R&D. Likewise, it utilized the same direct connection to the brain, allowing for direct VR space control. This must be the way Alpha works, too. So why was the medical cyborg invented in the first place? I still didn't know the answer to that. But the timing of this cyber warfare equipment seemed too good to be true. Yeah, they developed this shit pretty quick. Like, what the hell's going on here? Maybe all this research was meant for some larger purpose? I couldn't help thinking that, but I didn't say a word.
ひょっとすると局長だって全てを知ってるとは限らねえし。
Oh, I bet the chief probably knows fucking everything that's going on right now, just hiding a ton of shit. There are lots of things I can't say, and many more I don't know. Even Ginoza or Miss Kugatachi might not know. Shit, even the chief could be in the dark about some things.
電子戦装備でサイバーダイブか。ますます SF めいてきたな。
It all sounds like something out of a science fiction novel.
遊びじゃないんだ。気を引き締めろ。
It's not a game. Brace yourselves.
いつも通り執行しろってことでしょ。楽勝楽勝。
Piece of cake. Just another day's work for an enforcer, right?
単純ね。
You were so dull.
難しく考える必要ねえじゃん。保護だのなんだの考えなくていいんならドミネーターに任しときゃいいんだから。
I like how she called him dull, and she is like... She's like barely a step above. She's like... She's not quite Miss Kugatachi level, but I mean, she's fairly close. She's almost as monotone as her. There's not much to think about. Just know what it means to serve and protect, and leave the rest to the Dominator.
ドミネーターが使えるとは限らないわよ。少なくとも VR 空間にシビュラの目が届くとは思えない。
You may not be able to use the Dominator, or at least Sybil's eyes may not reach the VR space.
マジで？
Seriously?
その辺は俺もまだ把握していない。カランの森、電子戦装備の件は君に任せる。使い方を確認し、必要ならツールを用意してくれ。最低でもアルファと戦える装備がなければ話にならない。
We don't have enough info to determine if that's true. Kata Nomori, you're in charge of the Ka. Learn how to use it. We're powerless against Alpha without it. So the chief gave us this AI weaponry without even really telling us how to use it? What the fuck?
はいはい。おもちゃいじりなら弥生にも手伝ってほしいな。
Okay, but if you're leaving me to figure this out, then Yayoi has to help me too.
よろしいでしょうか、ギノザ監視官。
Now, in the anime, Miss Kunizuka here and Kata Nomori, the blonde chick, hard for me to remember the names. They pretty much do each other. They have some lesbian sex. Is that okay, Inspector Ginoza? By all means.
支給された電子戦装備は2人分ですよね。アルファ消去令を実行する隊員は2名となる。そう理解して構いませんか？
Only 2 people can use the call at a time, right? So does that mean only 2 of us can carry out the mission?
その通りだ。すでに加瀬局長より任命を受けている。
Exactly. We've already received order from Chief Kasai.
誰と誰ですか？
So, who?
装備との相性などを総合的に判断した結果、メインとなるのはカガリ。
Based on all of our compatibility with the equipment, the main user will be Kagari. Ooh. Hell yeah!
サブとして常森。この2名が専用電子戦装備を用いて VR 空間へ突入し、アルファ消去令を実行することになる。カラノモリ、君はバックアップ要員として2人に協力してくれ。
Tsunomori will be his partner. The 2 of you will learn how to operate it, storm into the VR space, then carry out the orders. And, Kata Nomori, you will support them.
了解。って呼んでるんじゃない？
Roger that. Hmm? Who's calling us?
局長からの専用回線です。ギノザさん、お願いします。
It's the chief's private line. Inspector Ginoza, please.
私です。はい。はい。すぐに参ります。
It's me. Yes. Okay, I'll be right there. After Ginoza hung up, he faced us with a grim look.
作戦について局長より新たな指示があるらしい。確認してくる。そのまま待機していろ。
I just received new orders from the chief about our strategy. I'm on my way to confirm it. Stay on standby. Without any hesitation, he left. Oh, we don't look happy. Soon after, Ginoza returned and gave me a strange glance.
アルファ消去令に伴う作戦の突入隊を変更する。メインは剣、サブはクガたちで行くことになった。
I'm changing the personnel for the operation. Main will be Tsurugi, and sub will be Kugatachi. Now, see, that boss, the chief, is up to some shit, because what is the likelihood of that happening? Changing the personnel, and changing it to me and Kugatachi of all fucking people. Huh? What about me? We will all be ready for backup. But why? I'm better at games. Kagari, this is not a game. I'm going to take down Alpha?
電子戦装備との相性を慎重に再検討した結果、より確実性の高い人選が行われたとの説明を受けた。詳しくは金の森と打ち合わせを行い、装備の扱いに習熟しておけ。以上だ。
We have carefully reviewed your compatibility with the call. If you have any questions about how it works, ask Karanomori, then master it. That's all. I almost bit my fucking tongue again. Jesus Christ. With that, the briefing ended. I felt someone was watching me, and when I looked, Miss Kugatachi's eyes and mine met. I look forward to working with you, Enforcer Tsurugi. I couldn't answer immediately. I was taken aback by her face. Its soothing familiarity. I have a problem saying that word, I don't know why. It wasn't hard to notice that she looked different. Hey you, don't you have something to tell me? Me? No, not really. I just want to see it through that we execute the operation. Tsurugi, is your mind set on that? Are you prepared to defeat Alpha? Why do you ask me that? I was just wondering. Please do not think too much into it. Oh yeah, avert your gaze. Avert your gaze, because that's not going to make me fucking suspect anything. Instead of replying, I leaned in and whispered in her ear. Was it your idea that I'd be part of this operation? I do not understand what you were asking me. You met with the chief, right? You recommended me, didn't you? You were not authorized to know that information. The only reason why I'm the one chosen and Shu isn't is because I'm like Alpha's parent. Isn't that right? And you were the one who told the chief that, weren't you? There's nothing that the chief does not know. I want to cunt punch her! After saying that, she paused for a brief moment, then said, I'll tell you one thing, though. I wished for it to be us. What's that supposed to mean? I thought it was for the best, and perhaps for another reason. Another reason being that you're an inspector? She smiled, and I thought she was going to say something, but that was it. End of conversation. I don't like her. I wanted to say something to her, but for no reason in particular, I felt uneasy, and the opportunity passed. I caught up to Ginoza so I could talk to him face to face. I needed to know the reason behind putting Miss Kugatachi on the operation. and why she wanted me to be on it with her.
たとえ知っていたとしても貴様に情報を開示する必要はないが、今回の件に限って言えば確かに不可解な点が多い。
Even if I knew, there's no need to divulge this information to you. But let me humor you by saying that there's many unknowns about this case. Many indeed. What did Miss Kugatachi and the chief talk about? Gino glanced at his wristcom. Not only could the device show the current location of the person wearing it, but it could also check for signs of life in the surrounding area. I checked mine too. We were alone now, and so Ginoza lowered his voice.
俺とお前が共有する案件と同様、何らかの機密事項について局長と久我たちの間で極秘に進行中の案件が存在するのだろう。
I don't know what they talked about. We're in the same boat. The case is full of highly classified information, but only the chief and Kugatachi know the details.
回りくどい言い方はやめてくれ。要するに安楽死事件みたいなヤバいネタが
Please don't speak so indirectly. Are you telling me that we're working on a case that's just as secretive as the euthanasia case? Your straightforward style of speaking really fits you. By the way, the chief has been talking about you lately. About me? She said that you've been sniffing around. Then she just laughed. Ginoza's face scrunched in disgust. I guess that if the chief laughed, it wasn't a good thing. The chief remembers me? Me, Enforcer Takuma Tsurugi? What an honor.
あちこち手当たり次第にほじくり返しているらしいが、ただ一つ手を触れようとしないものがある。局長はそうおっしゃっていた。どういう意味だかわかるか?
You might have only been randomly sniffing around for something, but there are things you can't dig up. The chief said so. Do you know what she meant?
手を触れようとしないもの? この俺が?
Things I can't dig up. Me? After thinking about it for a bit, I got an idea. Maybe it's about Miss Kugatachi. Kugatachi? I thought you guys were getting along well, though.
人から見てどうなのかは別だ。俺は最近、擬態の発注理由について探ってた。局長が言う通り、あちこち手当たり次第にほじくり返してた。
We all see things differently. Recently, I've been trying to find out why that cyborg was ordered. Maybe that's what the chief meant when she said I've been sniffing around.
そのことなら把握している。それがどうかしたが。
I'm still checking on it. What's the deal behind that anyway?
久我立城にだけは話を聞こうと思わなかったんだ。
There's just something I don't want to ask Miss Kugatachi. I thought about asking the enforcers and inspectors about the medical care databases, but somehow, I didn't think of asking Miss Kugatachi at all.
彼女も監視官の一員だ。お前の念頭には、彼女は我々監視官の一人として認識されていたんじゃないのか?
She's also one of the inspectors. You fool. Do you not recognize her as one of the inspectors or what?
そうじゃない。どういうわけか、彼女のことだけが頭からすっぽりと抜け落ちてた。人に言われてやっと思い出したぐらいだった。しかし、そんなことをなぜ局長が?
It's not like that. She just slipped my mind, that's all. But how could the chief?
あの方が知らないことはほとんどありません。
There's nothing that the chief does not know.
まるで俺の頭の中まで読んでるみたいじゃねえか。なあ、ギノザさん。局長はテレパシーでも使えるのか?
It's like the chief's reading my mind. Hey Ginoza, can the chief use telepathy or something?
古い SF の話なら、鴻上としろ。 俺は現実の話以外はしない。局長の言動が超現実的に感じられたとしても、そこには合理的な理由があるはずだ。例えば類まれな観察力とかな。
Talk to Kagami about outdated sci-fi theories. I only speak of practical matters. The chief may seem enigmatic, but at the end of the day, it's all logical reasoning.
ただ、クガたちは確かにこの俺でも近寄りがたいところがある。彼女の中には何か得体の知れないものが秘められている。そんな気がしてな。
It's just that it might be hard for Kugatachi to approach me. You need to talk to her. She might be hiding something. That's how I feel, at least. You're not telling me.
どうした？何か思い当たったのか？
What? Do you have any ideas?
局長は俺に何かほじくり返してほしいのかもしれない。例えばクガタチ城の失われた記憶とか。
Maybe the chief wants me to dig up something, like Miss Kugatachi's lost memories. Goddamn, my throat. It's starting to go out. Oh, damn.
クガたちが何かを知っていると。
What does Kugatachi know?
そいつがゆかりと関わりがあるかどうかは見当もつかねえけどな。
But I'm not even so sure she's connected to Yukari. If that was the case.
それを聞き出すのは俺の役目だとでも言うのか。
It's my duty to get that information out of her, right? I kept that to myself, though. I didn't want to ask Ginoza just to get shut down for sounding so contrived. And also, I felt kind of embarrassed. I need to act like I had a special role here. That I deserve my position. It wasn't like I could divulge such sensitive info like some stupid little kid. And also...
もし俺にそんな役目があるとしたら、そいつは最初から仕組まれてたことになっちまう。
If I was going to be promoted, I'd have to get involved with her anyway. How does an enforcer get promoted? Like, I'm pretty sure I thought an enforcer was just like, you're an enforcer, that's it. You're pretty much a dog of the inspectors and the police department, whatever, you know, the PSB or whatever. Like, I thought that was pretty much it. I don't see how enforcers can be promoted.
なあ、ギノザさん。俺を迎えに来てくれたのは局長からの命令だったのか。
Hey, Inspector Ginoza. You came to talk to me because the chief ordered you to, right?
承認を与えたという意味ならその通りだが。
If you're asking me if you got approved, then yes. Was I just overthinking it? Or...
俺だ。どうした、クガタシ。
It's me. What's wrong, Kugatachi?
アルファ小距離についての具体的な検討に入りたいと思います。オフィスへ戻っていただけますか？
I'd like to have a more concrete discussion about the details regarding the Alpha elimination operation. Can you please return to the office?
わかった。すぐ行く。
Understood. I'll be right there.
剣さんもご一緒なのですか？
Is Enforcer Tsurugi with you, too? How does she know that shit?
監視官デバイスに表示されてる通りさ。ちょうどいい。俺も話したいことがある。
Yeah, just look at your wristcom. Anyway, perfect timing. I also have something I need to talk to you about. I don't like talking to this lady. This robot.
で、どうするんだギノ。アルファの消去命令が出た以上、俺たちはまたあの町へ行く。そう考えていいのか。
So, what's your plan, Gino? Because of that operation, we're going to head back to that city, correct?
その点については、電子戦装備の性能次第だ。どの程度の作戦行動が可能なのか確認の上、結果次第では公安局本部ビルから作戦を遂行する可能性もある。
It all depends on the cost performance. After confirming it works, we may be able to operate from the PSB headquarters instead.
VR 空間なら世界中がつながってるかもしんねえもんな。
Maybe the VR space is connected to the whole world.
そんなことはないわ。鎖国政策は強固なものよ。電脳の世界にも壁は築かれている。破る方法もないわけではないけど。
I doubt it. The nation's isolationism is unwavering. Even the network has been guarded off with firewalls. But then again, they aren't unbreakable.
いや、よいってば、そういうことは大きな声で言っちゃダメ。まあ、ここはお姉さんの腕前を信じて待ってなさい。って、うわ、嫌な予感。
Hey, Yayoi. Don't say such things. Anyway, just sit tight and trust in my abilities for now. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this.
佐渡海上市沿岸部の国境警備隊基地に数人の少女が助けを求めてきたとの連絡が入りました。またあの町での事件です。
We received a report that several girls sought out refuge at a Coast Guard base near the outskirts of Sato Marine City, crying for help. Another incident has occurred. The base was located near the mainland across the ocean from Sato Marine City. Since most of the northern region was unpopulated, the base was isolated, so when the girls suddenly showed up, the soldiers were shocked and surprised they were still alive. Initially, the plan was to transfer them to Tokyo, but they were so emaciated that they couldn't move, so they were treated at a medical facility on the base. In addition to the physical damage they endured, their hues suffered. They claimed that everyone was going to die if nothing was done.
彼女たちの主張によれば、佐渡海上市内で大規模な疫病、または集団中毒事件が発生し、市民が次々と混沌しているという。
The girls claim that either a plague or food poisoning epidemic has broken out in Sato Marine City, and that civilians are collapsing one after another.
そいつは大変だが、事実確認は取れたのか?
That's terrible, but do their facts check out?
現在、唐野森さんに確認していただいてます。ただ、海底ライナーは貨物便以外なぜか運航が停止されており、再開の見通しも伝えられていません。
I've asked Miss Karanomori to confirm that already, but for some reason, the passenger line of the undersea subway is offline, and there hasn't been any sign of it reopening.
ドローンは何をやっているんでしょう?
What are the drones doing?
少女たちによれば、変わりなく活動しているそうです。ただ、
According to the girls, they're working fine, but
ただ、
what?
救助を訴えても、黙って運び去るだけで何もしてくれない。どこへ連れて行かれるのかもわからない。色相が悪化していても放置される。少女たちはそう訴えていると。
When people asked for help, the drones did nothing but take them away to an unknown location. The girls said that they were left for dead with their worsening hues. Impossible.
つがそれ活動してねえから、行かれてっから。
Still, they're not doing their job. The drones just left them.
主張が事実ならだ。まだ確認は取れていない。
Only if their claims are true, but we haven't confirmed it yet. Anyway, the passenger line of the subway was shut down, so they couldn't flee to Tokyo, and their only way to cross the ocean was by a boat they planned to use in the summer. A private boat? They must be very well off.
一般的に言って、社会的階層の高い人物は色相も安定している。命がけのいたずらをしでかす動機が彼女らにあったかどうか。
Generally speaking, the high society has stable hues. It wouldn't make any sense that they had ulterior motives to fabricate their story.
彼女たちの表情を確認できませんか? それだけでかなりの情報が読み取れます。訴えの真偽もつかめるでしょう。
Is there any way we can examine their facial expressions? That alone should tell us if they are telling the truth or not.
すぐ手配します。
I'll prepare right away. Soon after, we received footage of the girls from the base. After examining it, Miss Kugatachi declared they told the truth. There's no way they could fake how weak they looked.
こっちもつながったわよ。佐渡海上市内のリアルタイム映像。なんか回線重くてつなぐのに苦労したけど、見たところ平和な感じっぽいわね。
I've established a connection as well. We have a live stream of Sato Marine City now. The connection was slow, but when it appeared on screen, it looked peaceful. Good work. Can you switch cameras?
はいはい、お安いご用。どこを見る？
Okay, sure thing. Where do you want to look first?
中学校立てこもり事件現場の今の映像を。
The middle school. That's where the last incident took place. An image of an ordinary school popped up. Students were practicing sports on the school grounds. It looked like the quiet daily life of the city had returned, but...
待て。映像を拡大してみろ。ここだ。
Hang on. Zoom in right there. Gami pointed to screen 1, and it zoomed in on a student.
船岡良太郎じゃねえか。立てこもり犯がなんでこんなところに。
Isn't that Roitaru Funoka? The perp from the riot? Why the hell is he there?
空の森。幼児誘拐事件で犯人が潜んだマンションは見られるか。
Karanomori, can you see the apartment from the child abuse and abduction case?
もちろん。でもどういうこと？
Of course, but why?
8階の外れの窓を確認してくれ。
Zoom in on the window of the 8th floor.
ゆうやくんがお母さんと一緒にいた部屋。
Isn't that the room where Yuya and his mother were?
おい見ろ、あの窓ガラスがはまってる。俺がぶち破って飛び込んだ後に誰かが直したのか。
Hey, look, the window's fixed. Did somebody replace it after I broke in? Kagari didn't break in, didn't I break in? Kagari didn't even, like, jump through the window, like, get into the window until it was all said and done, right? Or am I remembering things wrong? Anyway, that is weird. Why would a window in an abandoned district be repaired?
いいえ、窓が直ったんじゃない。まだ破られてないだけです。
No, it has not been replaced. It's not even been broken yet.
そうか。こいつは過去の映像なんだ。
Really? So this is footage from before all those incidents?
監視カメラがクラッキングされ、リアルタイムを偽装した録画映像に置き換えられている。そう考えるしかありませんね。
The street cameras have been hacked, and old footage is being looped as if it is happening in real time. That has to be the reason.
船岡良太郎は罪を犯しておらず、マンションの窓もまだ割れず、何もかもが平和そのものに見える世界。でもそれはもう過去にしか存在していないんですね。
The peaceful world where Ryotaro Funoka never committed a crime, and where the apartment was never broken into. But then, all that could have only existed in the past.
通常の監視手段ではダメだ。他に市内の映像を見る方法は。
This is futile. Is there any way to look at the city from another location?
中がダメなら外から見りゃいい。
If not from within the city, then from the outside.
だから、そんな方法がどこにあるかと聞いているんだ。
That's why I just asked where. God damn you, Noza.
国境警備隊がいるんならフリゲート艦があるだろう。
From the sea. If the border patrol is nearby, then there's bound to be a frigate.
あは、なるほど。でもどうかしら、カメラをつなぐのは技術的には簡単だけど、向こうが協力してくれると思う？
Uh-huh, I see. It won't be difficult to connect to their surveillance system, but do you think they will cooperate?
交渉してみます。
Let me try and negotiate with them. Ms. Tsunemori quickly requested for their support. In a few moments, footage of the ocean was projected on the screen, and in the middle was the dome of Sato Marine City. Through the roof of the transparent dome, I could see within the city now. We all waited and watched as the camera continued to zoom in.
おい、あれは人だよな。動いてねえぞ。
Hey, there's someone there, right? He's not moving.
おそらく倒れています。
He has collapsed.
嘘。なんでこんなに街中あちこちにバタバタ倒れてるなんて。
You've got to be kidding me. What's going on? The whole city is a mess.
見ろ、ドローンだ。
Look, a drone. It picked up the man, then pressed onward to the abandoned district.
バカな。ドローンが機能していない。管理システムはどうなってる？
This is ridiculous. The drone isn't functioning properly. What's wrong with the management system?
アルファの仕業としか考えられません。
It can only be Alpha's doing.
乗り込もうぜ。俺たちで何とかしなきゃ。
Let's move out. We have to do something about it.
賛成です。
これは非常事態です。出動しましょう。
Agreed. This is a state of emergency. Let's go.
いいだろう。輸送機の手配を。
Alright, prepare for transportation.
はい。
Will do.
空の森分析官も同行お願いします。対アルファ用電子戦装備が必要になるでしょう。
I would also like analyst Karanomori to accompany us. The cost cyberware equipment will most likely be needed.
はいはい、忙しくなってきたわね。
Okay, it's sure getting busy. We also decided to bring the cyberized body with us just in case. It still contained the recorded logs, and we could use it as reference to help us accomplish the operation. Alright, going back. We all rushed to the VTOL. I sat next to Miss Kugitachi. There was something I needed to make sure of. Do you think it's okay to terminate Alpha? It's our duty and mission to do so. Is that really how you feel? I do not understand what you are saying. I'm an inspector. You are an enforcer. After you are given an order, there is no time to waste thinking about feelings, right? I'm fully aware of that, but I can tell that you're thinking about Alpha. Isn't it because you were thinking about him? That may have been so. I couldn't deny it. But it wasn't just that. Miss Kugitachi clearly looked guilty about something. Let's change the subject. I have something to ask you. Could you talk a bit more politely? I have something to ask of you.
お前はあちこち手当たり次第にほじくり返しているらしいが、ただ一つ手を触れようとしないものがある。
You might have been randomly sniffing around for something, but there are things that you can't dig up. Who are you? Do you have anything to do with Yukari, the woman I've been searching for? Like I could have asked her that. I doubted she could even answer me, being that she lost her memories. So, I decided to ask her opinion as part of our work. The cyborg that Alpha used was ordered by somebody. There are many unanswered questions regarding that, but what I'm most curious about is what it was used for. So you want to know the buyer's intention. Now we're getting somewhere. At least, that's the first thing I want to know. Miss Kugitachi craned her neck down, seemingly deep in thought. Eventually, she started talking. Though this is only my assumption. She raised her head and looked at me. Maybe a special order for a cyberized body was made for the AI, Alpha, to be his custom-built toy? Toy? Then it hit me. Yukari once wrote this in one of her chats to me. I'm thinking about giving Alpha a new toy. She didn't tell me what kind of toy, though. Your assumption sounds about right. Thanks, Miss Kugitachi. But how did you figure that out? It was just a guess. If someone were to raise their AI as a human, they would probably treat it like their own child. Alpha did say mother. Just a guess. Did Miss Kugitachi just say that? Really? She knew Alpha was an AI way before anyone else did. Was it because she knew all along?
わからないことばっかりも増えた。だが、こいつは多分謎じゃなく手がかりだ。広大元暮らしってやつ。大きな手がかりだ。
Man, I'm starting to question a lot now. But this could be a lead, rather than more mystery. I guess it's just hard to see what's under your nose. The biggest clue might be
彼女の中の命。
inside of her. We returned to the city once again. I had a feeling we'd come back, but none of us could have ever predicted what was in store for us. Alright, the city was littered with bodies, still alive, but they were all unconscious, with a serene look stamped on their faces. They didn't respond to anything, not even pain.
ユーストレス欠乏症に間違いありません。
There was no doubt that they have the Eustress deficiency. Oh god, Ginos is probably going to go off and say something.
こんなにいっぺんに大量に患者が発生するなんて変ですよね。
It's strange to see so many of them at one time.
何らかの人為的手段によって引き起こされた現象でしょう。アルファは人間を幸せにしようとしています。そのための方法を見つけたに違いありません。
This is not a fluke. It was probably caused by someone. Alpha wanted to make humans happy, and this must be how. The ghastly silent city roared with angry cries. Glass shattered, and wild laughter filled the air. It had to be the doing of the mastermind from the riot incident.
なんだあの騒ぎ。
What's with all the noise?
略奪だ。
A robbery. A gang of people, resembling those brats from the riot, were causing an uproar. They were breaking into shops and stealing and smashing things. Heaven's Gate, no doubt.
速やかに制圧しろ。
Suppress them immediately.
了解。
Roger that.
やっぱり公安が出てきちゃったか。せっかくだから彼らに一時的な管理を任せておこう。僕一人では面倒を見きれないみたいだし。
So the public safety has made their move. Perfect. This should keep them busy for a while. It's not like I can handle them all by myself. He was nothing but a virtual form of himself. In the VR space, there was no need to keep recording the boy's form. Though no one could see him, he was still, in fact, a boy. The numbers, which flashed in his eye, were left behind with the cyborg. It was merely a shell of his true self, mechanical and meaningless, but his life had meaning. To be praised by his mother, that was all he wanted, and so he kept trying to make everyone happy. Among his pile of broken memories, there was something he always held on to.
でも人間すべてを幸せにするのは無理かもしれない。せっかくヘブンズドアを与えても眠りに落ちるどころか暴れ出すような奴がこんなに多いだなんて。
But making every human happy could be impossible. Even though I gave them Heaven's Gate, I can't believe how many of them are raging or just sleeping.
悪いけど彼らには消えてもらわなきゃならない。僕が作る新しい世界に今の人間じゃ多すぎるんだ。ちょうどいい間引きの方法を考えなくちゃいけないな。
Sorry, but they have to go bye-bye. There's just too many humans for the new world I'm trying to create. I have to come up with a way to get rid of them. Alright, I think this is probably a good point to go ahead and call it quits for now. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all are enjoying Psycho-Pass Mandatory Happiness for the PlayStation 4. Thank you all so much for the amazing love and support, not only on these videos, but on the channel in general. It has been amazing. I love you all. And if you guys could do me a real quick favor, look in that description box down below. I got all that social media stuff down there. If you guys want to get sneak peeks or see what I'm doing on a daily basis, go and follow me on those. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I am out.